two unstoppable powerhouses collide as Brian Cage and the almighty himself, Lashley, come to head as they tie up collar and elbow. This has been the confrontation that has been building for weeks. This is one of those heavy hitters. One of these matches that the fans here at Impact Wrestling have been waiting to see. This is almost like a clash of not only two powerhouses, but when you are such a powerhouse, it comes with an ego. Are you going to be able to put your ego aside? Great athleticism from Lashley. We know both of these men have power, but what about the athleticism part of it? What about the agility? Big men generally aren't known to have agility, and that can be the difference maker in a match like this. As I mentioned, Hurricane Rana that came in from, and there's one from Lashley. First from Cage, then from Lashley. And Lashley coming in hot, but Cage not too far behind to follow it up with something of his own. It's just a trade of high impact blows to be like, you can do this, but I can do that, and I'm going to do it better than you. So why don't you hit me with your best shot, because I'm going to hit you with mine. Brian Cage is in control. He sent Bobby Lashley to the outside onto the floor. Lashley now trying to get back into the ring. Cage went right after Lashley. Brian Cage in a precarious situation. Both these men were both in a suplex. Smart head ringer by Lashley. Catches Cage off his guard with a double axe handle to the back of the head. All of these heavy hitting moves back and forth. Brian Cage kicking out at 1. This is just going to be a back and forth. As I mentioned, it's just going to be, here's what you can do, here's what I can do. Now it's a matter of, what can't you do that I can do that will be the difference maker in this match? Lashley, nice swinging neck breakers. He snaps on the neck of Brian Cage. Lashley coming in from a run in mixed martial arts. That added a whole different level to the athleticism of Lashley. Lashley, U.S. Army veteran, competed in the Army for wrestling, on the Army wrestling team. Made his way to the WWE. Competed some of the most high-profile matches. Then MMA. Brian Cage up and over the top. Cage goes for a fly. Fly on the wall. Fly over the top. Take it out. Lashley on the floor is Brian Cage. That's the real deal. But Lashley's already up on the other side of the ring. A standoff, and the only thing that's between them is the ring. Those ropes are the only thing. And these two are back in the ring, across from each other. And a full collision ahead. Lashley, the 4-time champion here in Impact Wrestling. What a super kick. Knocks Lashley off his feet. Brian Cage going up high, looking to go for a high risk. Oh, but instead feels the crash and burn as Bobby Lashley takes him out. And a beautiful sidewalk slam to follow it up, but Cage able to kick out before the 3. Lashley thought he had it won there, but not quite enough to put away Brian Cage for the 3. Lashley just stomping away on the leg of Brian Cage. And the other one. This is a great strategy for Lashley. Take out those tree trunk-like legs of Brian Cage. That's where your power comes from. The legs. The quad being the largest muscle in the body. You take those out, you take a lot of the power of being able to lift your opponent up. And driving a massive trap into the midsection of Brian Cage is Lashley as he dumps Cage to the floor. Cage, who's down on the floor. The ref starting his count. Is Lashley going to take the easy way out? Although I doubt that Brian Cage is going to be out on the floor for that much longer, considering he's already back in the ring. Just a little bit of mind games there from Lashley as he pounds away on Brian Cage in the corner. Lashley keeping this very close range, keeping the impact on Brian Cage as much as possible. And a spear into the corner, just driving the shoulder into the midsection. And a snapmare to break Brian Cage out of the corner to follow it up with a sleeper. You see, what I was trying to say is you see Bobby Lashley keeping up with the attack throughout the match, almost smothering him in a sense, allowing for no time to regroup, no time to recover in this situation. You got to stay on the ball, especially when your opponent is the size that they are, and you are almost nearly matched. Oh, the Machine, Brian Cage up and over. Look at that springboard tornado DDT. Absolute impressive offense from the Machine, Brian Cage. Springs off, tornado DDT. Great athleticism on display. But now, how does Brian Cage follow it up? That's the big question. That's where you gotta keep it up now. The clothesline followed up with a back elbow and a single leg drop kick. That leg lariat. And a spine buster. That's went for the jackknife. The only problem was on that jackknife. Let's get a little look at this. It was a single leg jackknife, which didn't get the full effectiveness of that pinfall combo. Was looking to put Lashley away. Lashley has the leg, but comes in with a back elbow. Brian Cage follows up, but he gets a taste of the spine buster from Lashley instead. These two just dishing out the same meal by a different chef. Spine buster up and down. Catching Brian Cage up in the air and drives him into the mat. Oh, but Cage kicks out just in the nick of time. Brian Cage still finding a way to stick with it. Lashley thought that was it after that running power slam, but not quite enough to put away the Machine, as Cage now fighting back at Lashley. Going in full steam ahead at Lashley in the corner, but Lashley able to get the boot up. Beautiful snap power slam by Cage to follow up with a springboard moonsault, but there was nobody home. Cage missed, Lashley missed, and a spear from Lashley. Look at that, though. Brian Cage wisely rolling to the outside onto the floor. And Lashley hooks the leg. And a kick out at 2 as Cage survives. Lashley is spending quite a bit of time arguing with the official. You don't want to spend so much time. It allows your opponent to recover. And a discus clothesline lays out Lashley. And Brian Cage has just secured the victory. He just took this. The Machine has survived the Almighty, beating a 4-time world champion in Bobby Lashley. Brian Cage with a massive victory here on Impact. That massive clothesline, that lariat. What a victory for Brian Cage. The Machine has laid out Lashley. It's a matter of whose yard is it now?